Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court Civil Docket for July 26, 2023. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our first?
Top of page 1, Judge. In cause number 2019 DCV 4842, Maria del Carmen Lopez versus David Antonio Burciaga Monroy et al. Announcement of counsel, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tomas Porras Acosta on behalf of the plaintiff, Maria del Carmen Lopez.
Good morning.
Your Honor. Oh, sorry, Judge.
That's it.
Good morning, Michael Hirsch on behalf of the defendants.
Okay, we're here for entry of judgment. We've had a few of these. How are we doing?
So, Judge, on this one, and I was speaking with Mr. Porras Acosta earlier, and we think we found a workaround. There was some proceedings in Mexico, and we were trying to get those so that we could list them in the judgment that we were going to send to the court. But we did not have luck, so we think we've got that nailed down and are just going to move forward without those.
Okay. So what do you need from me?
Your Honor, if we can just reset it for 30 days, like Mr. Hirsch mentioned, he has already sent me the documents. I just have to review them and talk to the client, make some revision if necessary, and then we'll be out of your court, Your Honor, hopefully.
All righty, 30 days. You got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
May we be excused?
You may have a good day.
Thank you as well.
Who's next?
Continuing on page 1, Judge, in cause number 2022 DCV 1479, JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. versus Joel A. Cisneros. Announcement of counsel, please.
Christy Medrano on behalf of Chase this morning.
Hey, anyone here on behalf of Joel Cisneros? No one, Ms. Medrano. I believe we've had this reset before. Did we have notice of this hearing at least attempted?
Yes, we did, and we filed that certificate of service with the court. We served him with the notice of today's hearing with the Zoom information and then the amended motion for default itself.
Okay, you may proceed, ma'am. Did you, I'm sorry, you mentioned an amended motion? I only see, oh no, there it is. I have it. Yes, you may proceed.
Your Honor, this is a simple debt claim case brought forth by my client Chase. It's against the defendant, Joel Cisneros. Chase is the original creditor, and I'd ask the court to take notice of and enter into its record the motion for default that was previously filed. It does include the affidavit, and that will attest to the fact that Joel Cisneros did indeed stop making payments. It looks like the last payment was, well, the last payment before the pre-charge off, I guess I should say, was May 16th, 2021, and the account was subsequently closed, charged off on or about 12/31 of 2021. The defendant has entered into a settlement agreement with us. He is making payments every month. I don't believe he's missed any. So I do have a current amount owing. It's, again, not the amount that's in that motion that's before the court because it's a moving target. The problem we have run into is we have reached out and attempted to reach out, and we just cannot get the defendant to return the agreed judgment. So we don't have a judgment, and therein lies the problem. So the last payment was, I mean, if post charge off was just made, July 14th in the amount of $658. So today we are seeking judgment in the amount of $6,580.
And that's, I guess, the reduced amount after now that he's been making payments. Is that what that is?
That's correct. There's no interest, no attorney fees. It's just being reduced each month by his monthly payment.
All right. Is that everything?
Well, I was just going to add, the suit was filed on May 17th of 2022. Defendant was served June 9th of 2022. I don't show where he ever filed an answer. But yes, that's all. We're seeking damages today in the amount of $6,580.
And so, I mean, he's been making payments. I mean, you all are in you have a payment arrangement with him, and I guess his last payment was just 2 weeks ago.
But my client is seeking, to have a judgment in the event that he were to stop making payments.
Okay, so your amended motion reflects 7238. You're telling me to date it is 6580. Is that the amount outstanding?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So I will take judicial notice of, I guess, both motions and the attachments there too. Your default is granted. Please go ahead and provide the proposed order to the court so we can get that filed with papers of the court.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You may.
Thank
Who's
you.
Continuing
next?
on page 1, Judge, in cause number 2022 DCV 1462, Westlake Service LLC et al. Versus Ana Hernandez and Irvin Regalado. Announcement of council, please.
Benjamin Joseph Gutierrez on behalf of the plaintiff.
Do we have someone on behalf of defendant? I show here Mark Villarreal.
Yes. Good morning, Bobby Ramos on behalf of defendant, Your Honor.
All right, we're here for a final status conference. Do we have a scheduling order in place? Anyone? I see there's an entry here back in February that it says it was accepted in error. So let me see what that is. Yeah. Doesn't look like we do. Gentlemen, what's the status? You all are set for trial on September 29th. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. It's my understanding that there's no pretrial matters that need to be addressed from the plaintiff at this time. And the court's correct. My personal notes show that there was a reference of a scheduling order regarding this matter back on February 1st, in which I appeared at that hearing. But otherwise, plaintiff has nothing further, Your Honor.
Well, what's the status of the case? I mean, I have you on the trial docket. What's going on?
Well, currently, Your Honor, right now, we're still conducting discovery, and we're hoping that we will get into discussing settlements soon. We haven't been able to mediate this case as well, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to settle it out before we even have to go to a mediation or even possibly trial.
The deadline for mediation is August 29th. Have you all scheduled anything, or are you going to do something else? I mean, we're coming back on the 30th.
I am in my notes. I don't see anything that we have scheduled for mediation at this time, but I'm sure it's something that we could discuss and get that done before we even have to worry about that deadline.
Yeah, well, the deadline is there. All right. We'll see you all on the 30th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, who's next?
Bottom of page 1, Judge, in cause number 2022 ACV 3316, Jacqueline Duran versus Total Mechanical Inc. Announcement of council, please.
Attorney Paul Stavna for the plaintiff.
Nicholas Jimenez on behalf of defendants, Your Honor.
All right. We have this down for a special exception hearing. I did see that I believe it was a defendant who had filed a motion for alternative dispute resolution. Someone give me an update, please.
So relative to just the special exceptions, plaintiffs have amended their petition. Only issue that we have, Your Honor, is with section 8.2N. They still have it's other and further acts of negligence as me shown in the trial. We still need fair notice of what they're claiming. So that's our only issue. If they're, if they amend that, we're good to go.
I'm not seeing an amended petition. Has it been filed?
It was recently filed, Your Honor.
So, Judge, the amended petition, it was filed actually earlier this morning. However, for some reason, whoever was processing it rejected it due to the jury fee not being paid, even though it was paid whenever the original petition was filed. So rather than fight it out, I just went ahead and paid the jury fee, refiled the petition, and I also sent a courtesy copy to the court.
Okay. So we have something outstanding still. Do I have that, Myrna? Did you receive the amended petition?
Looking for that on the email, Judge.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I don't see that yet. So, Mr. I'm losing people here. Mr. Jimenez, sorry,
Yep.
Mr. Jimenez, I didn't see you. Mr. Jimenez still is taking issue. Did you have a response, Mr. Savinoff? And I have not yet seen the amended petition.
So, Judge, in response, that was not included in their original special exceptions that was filed. There were 2 defendants listed in plaintiff's first amended petition, Mr. Jose Gutierrez and the defendant Total Mechanical Inc. There was language about other acts of negligence for Jose Gutierrez, which is what was included in the special exceptions. And we've amended that and removed it from the second amendment petition.
Understood.
So actually, Your Honor, it was relative to defendant Total Mechanical. Because I don't show that, let's see. Jose Gutierrez hasn't been served yet either. So our special exceptions was, I mean, we presented just to Total Mechanical because that's we defend at this point. We did list other acts of negligence, and I mean, what plaintiff has, it still has other acts of negligence that we still don't have fair notice of what those claims are.
All right, Mr. Savinoff.
So the corporate rep deposition has not taken place yet. So we do reserve the right to amend the petition, but I have no issue with amending our petition and removing subparagraph N related to other acts of negligence, but we can amend it again. I don't have an issue with that, Your Honor.
And I apologize, and I appreciate Mr. Savinoff being, working with us. It's just, we have to split hairs. So for that, I apologize. But provided he amends, we'll be fine.
Okay. So for now, I will take that under advisement, Mr. Jimenez. I do want to come back. Well, it looks like we have a scheduling status conference in this case on September 20th. Did we not already have a scheduling order in place?
I don't believe so.
No, Judge.
No. Okay. I only asked because I see that the scheduling status conference was scheduled on July 12th as well. And I don't know that we did that. Okay. So I'm going to keep the scheduling status conference. I really don't want to wait. Is there any reason to wait, that we need to wait to set a trial date?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Can we go ahead and take care of that now, since it appears that we left it outstanding from July 12th?
I'm amenable if Mr. Savinoff is.
Judge, regarding the trial date, as I mentioned in the prior hearing, we have a second defendant in this case, which is Jose Gutierrez. He was the driver that struck our client and subsequently fled the scene of the crash. We are still working on getting him served, but that issue may end up becoming moot if the case settles in mediation, which is currently scheduled for September 19th with Chris Ancliffe.
That's why we did that September 20th scheduling conference. That makes sense. So we're going to leave it as is. We will revisit the special exceptions on that date as well. If there is anything outstanding. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, gentlemen. Y'all are excused. Who's next?
Top of page 2, Judge. In cause number 2019 DCV 2874, Aileen Gaona et al. Versus David Michael Yates et al. Announcement of counsel plan, please.
Melendez on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Morning.
James Beal on behalf of Dr. Yates, Your Honor.
Gary Sommer for Dr. Velimirovich.
All righty, so we need to set a trial date, gentlemen. Have you all had a chance to confer? I mean, I'm thinking well into probably mid-2024 at this point.
Yes, Your Honor. I think we have a mediation date of October 10th, so probably sometime in the 2024 is fine with us.
Okay, let's go ahead and what's the mediation date?
October 10th.
Sorry, 10/10. Okay. So I'm going to set us for a status conference on October 11th at 10:30 a.m. I'm going to tentatively give you, Myrna, if we can look at a trial date in February of 2024. Is that workable for you all? That's kind of where my regular trials are going right now. I know in civil, I usually push you farther back when we start, but we're not exactly starting on the case. So
What date in February, Your Honor?
Myrna, do you have a date?
It's February 16th, Judge.
Okay.
February 16th.
Your Honor, I have just to let the court know, I do have a setting that week in Hidalgo County. So I'm okay with it if you're okay with it as far as setting it subject to that prior setting, but if the other parties are okay, but I just want to let you know.
Mr. Summer?
Yeah, we also have a 2-week, we've got a trial on the 12th of February. And then we've got another setting the following Monday on the 19th.
Okay, why don't we go into March and let's just pick March 15th. How is that? Myrna, does that date look okay? My only concern in trying to square away a date now is that if I wait until you all go to mediation and try and schedule you, then that really probably puts us at the end of 2024, and I don't want to do that.
That works, Judge. February 17th for trial. I mean, March, I'm sorry, March 17th.
March 17th is Sunday.
March 15th, 2024.
24.
The only thing is that spring break, would that cause a problem? I think that.
Does anybody get spring breaks? What?
I think.
There's no such thing, Judge. Those were
Right?
eliminated.
Like those things, what's that? Just kidding, Mr. Beal, but you're right. Nobody. People spend on-
It's both those dates in February and March. I'm booked, but it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and set it.
All right, I'll take Mr. Beal's suggestion and I will go 2 more weeks down the road. I'll go with March 29.
That's good. We have nothing in March, so that's good for us.
Yay, let's do that. And we'll go from there. So did you all want a new, I mean, is there really, do you all need a new scheduling order? I just assume check in with you all.
Work it out.
Yes. Okay. Okay. We'll see you in October then.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
All right, thanks, Judge.
Okay. Who's next?
Continuing with page 2, Judge, in cause number 2009-2071, Dodeca LLC versus Raimundo Aguilar, Nelson Council.
Christopher Castillo here on behalf of Paledia LLC, the successor in interest of Dodeca LLC.
Okay, Mr. Castillo, I don't imagine, did we get notice out to Mr. Aguilar?
Notice, as far as us sending notice personally, I don't have confirmation that we sent notice. I do see a note, and I guess on Odyssey on the court's filing system, that notice was sent out 5/10 of 2023, but I believe that was for a previous setting. So I don't have confirmation as to whether this notice for this case went out.
Have we received, did we send anything out for this hearing, Myrna?
I'm sorry, Judge, I was on the phone.
2009-2071 to Raimundo Aguilar.
Judge, I am looking at the order setting hearing. At the bottom of the order setting hearing, they have the last known address of Raimundo Aguilar, and it states that it was sent via regular mail. So,
Okay.
That was sent out.
Okay, have we had any contact from Mr. Aguilar?
I have no notes stating that he's made contact with our office.
So this was sent out on the 15th day of July, so even if it went regular mail, okay. All right, Mr. Castillo,
Yes, ma'am.
what are you asking?
I'm asking, well, we're attempting to revive a judgment which became dormant October 28th, 2019. Originally, Dodeca LLC obtained a judgment against the defendant Raimundo Aguilar on October 28th, 2009 for a sum of $12,981.18, attorney's fees in the amount of $1,000, cost of court and post-judgment interest of 5%. The defendant has not made any payments or has not made any attempts to satisfy this judgment. As I stated earlier, the judgment became dormant October 28th, 2019. We filed our application to attempt to revive this judgment September 10th, 2021, with the rent being granted May 5th of 2023. The defendant was served 5/9/2023 with the return being filed May 10th, 2023. As stated earlier, we've had no contact with the defendant and we're attempting to revive this judgment because the defendant still owes the $12,981.18, the attorney's fees of $1,000 and cost of court with post-judgment interest as well.
Mr. Castillo, I see an order reviving judgment from back in June of 2022. Do you see that as well?
June of 2022. I see an order, is that June 8th, 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I can't click on the actual document. I don't know if I don't have access to that, but I do see an entry there that says order. I don't know what order.
So it is an order reviving judgment on your writ. I believe this was with a prior counsel. Duly served. Is hereby ordered a judge and decreed. I honestly don't know how to share my screen. Otherwise, I would try and share this with you. The final judgment rendered under this case is hereby revived in all respects as to Raimundo Aguilar.
I'm just assuming that we never got a copy of that. That's what I'm assuming.
It's filed. Yeah, it's filed. I don't know that that was not where it was sent. Maybe Mr. Medina, are you able to see? Let me see.
I saw that entry. I just thought it might have been a proposed order. I don't know if it had been signed or not.
Mr. Medina, can you tell on that order dated June 8th, 2022, who that was? I mean, if it was e-filed, I don't know. Can you tell who received it?
Yes, of course, Judge. Let me go ahead and look into that real quick.
Couple of the entries here. And I guess, Myrna, if it's possible to send that to Mr. Castillo. Mr. Castillo, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to review that and set this for a status in 3 weeks. Set us for a status in 3 weeks and just review it. If there's something that you need to further request beyond that, then please request a hearing or we can discuss it at the 3-week hearing, okay?
Sounds great. And I'll get that new notice in the mail. It'll be sent to us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I'll be sure to make sure we send it to Mr. Aguilar's last known address as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Castillo.
Thank you for your time.
Who's next?
Continuing on page 2, Judge,
Mhm.
in cause number 2022, DCV 3762, Wendy Reyes versus Carlos Avila et al. Announcement of council, please. Good morning, Your Honor. Orlando Torres on behalf of the plaintiff, Wendy Reyes.
Morning. Is there anyone here on behalf of Carlos Avila or Alejandra Isabel Avila? Okay. Mr. Torres, I think we've had this reset a couple of times. Honestly, I don't know why this is the third time.
The reason why, Your Honor, was last time, we had sent the notice to both defendants. However, on the waiver of citation that the defendant signed, we noticed it was a different address. So we resent to the court today our exhibits with the waivers of citation showing that notice got sent directly to the addresses that they had listed on their waivers.
Okay, and just to be clear, we haven't had any contacts from the Avilas.
No, Your Honor, we have not, and neither from their insurance company, which is why we put on the testimony for the default last hearing, and we're asking for the court to sign our order based on the fact that no one has to the service of the petition nor the multiple settings that we have noticed them on.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you need to present today, Mr. Torres?
Nothing further, Your Honor. If we could just request the court sign our default, and that would conclude this case.
And that'll be granted. I would ask if you would please just forward now the order, the proposed order that you have. If we received it before, it's probably buried in a bunch of emails, so that'll make it a little easier.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll make sure that court gets that this morning.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You as well, ma'am.
You may. Who's next?
Page 3, Judge. In cause number 2020, DCV 3991, Yolanda Rucobo versus Monreal Inc., DBA Trendy et al. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daisy Chaparro here. I guess not technically on behalf of the plaintiff, but good morning.
Good morning.
Dina Roderick on behalf of defendants, River Oaks defendants.
Good morning, Judge Bruce Gomez for Moriel Inc., DBA Trendy, Yemen Moriel.
Okay, and we have this continued again, I guess, and we're set for all three same settings: final civil pretrial motion hearing and DWAP. So do we have an update, Ms. Chaparro?
Yes, I filed on the 20th a motion to withdraw. When we last, I personally, when I was last before the court in February, the plaintiff, Ms. Rucobo, had passed. I tried to contact the family and I was unsuccessful. Interestingly enough, her son was a client of mine, and so I know that I have accurate and adequate contact information, but I was not able to locate the family or get them to call me back. I sent letters. I also sent them the motion to withdraw and the information for the hearing. And so I would just ask that the court allow me to withdraw at this point.
Okay, so let me just be clear, Ms. Chaparro, in terms of the notice of today's hearing, did that include all of the settings, meaning the DWAP, DWAP motion hearing and final civil pretrial? And I guess primarily I'm concerned about the DWAP.
No, actually, I'm looking at the letter, and what I gave them notice of was the motion to withdraw and their right to object to that. And then the Zoom hearing information if they intended to participate, but I did not provide the notice on the DWAP.
Okay. Mr. Roderick, I know I've heard you at previous hearings, Mr. Gomez as well. Do you have anything to add today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Monday. No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that if Ms. Chaparro withdraws, then we could probably set this for a DWAP.
That's exactly what I would like to do. I am going to grant Ms. Chaparro's request to withdraw with the understanding that you will provide notice of the subsequent hearing to whoever the people that you're able to contact. And that will be set in 30 days. I am solely setting it for DWAP.
Your Honor, to be clear, are you asking Ms. Chaparro to provide the notice?
Correct. Ms. Chaparro, kind of as a fail-safe, if you will provide Ms. Hernandez with the contact information that you have, we will also independently send notice. so that if anybody is receiving anything, they're understanding this is not just coming from you, but coming from the court, and see where we end up. We'll do 30 days. We'll do 30 days. That should be enough to get notice out. And if they're receiving anything, kind of being enough notice to them to know to appear if they want something to continue to happen in this case. Okay.
Understood, Your Honor. Thank you. And I will circulate an order for approval as to form, and then I'll include that in the notice, letting them know I've withdrawn so that they have a copy of that order as well.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Ms. Chaparro. Good to see you back.
Thank you.
Mr. Roderick and Mr. Gomez, thank you for your patience. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. We'll see you on 30 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Who's next?
Second on page 5, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2022 DCV 3787, Anchor Patel et al. Versus Padilla Homes Inc. et al. Announcement of council, please.
Your Honor, good morning, Blake County. Good morning.
Okay, somebody has probably a YouTube feed or something going because there's some background noise. Let's try that again. Go ahead, Mr. Downey.
Yes, Your Honor, Blake Downey on behalf of plaintiffs.
Adrian Acosta, here on behalf of defendants.
Okay, we're set for status conference. Bear with me, guys. There we are. Status conference. And we've just had a few of those. So how are we doing?
Your Honor, so just as a refresher, this case is subject to binding arbitration. It's been agreed upon by the parties. Unfortunately, our clients are apparently very popular and we've conflicted out of every local arbitrator to date. So we are probably going to have to look outside of El Paso for an arbitrator. Mr. Acosta and I have been diligently discussing who that may be. The concern is obviously that cost, if we go to Dallas or Houston, is going to be, significant compared to what it could have been if had we been able to use somebody locally. But we are still in agreement that the case is subject to arbitration. We're just trying to figure out who that arbitrator may be.
Okay. Can you do it in 30
No.
days, Mr. Acosta? Why are you shaking your head?
No, I'm not shaking my head. I just think, I have nothing to add to what Mr. Downey said. We've tried to squeeze water out of the turnip to try to figure out who could be a local arbitrator, but unfortunately.
Okay, 30 days, guys. Good luck.
We'll get it done. Thanks, Judge.
Take care.
Hard way.
Who's next?
Bottom of page 2, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2023 DCV 1169, Agustin Jordan versus J. Anthony Johnson et al. Announcement of council, please.
Charles Women on behalf of plaintiff, Your Honor.
Nicholas Jimenez on behalf of defendants, Your Honor.
Good morning. Scheduling status conference. Do you all want a trial date in 2024?
Yes, Your Honor. I think that would be helpful to us to get a trial date and get a scheduling order and work back from that.
Sure. Give me 1 second. So let's look at April 12th, 2024. I think you all know the drill. Docket call that Wednesday before, 30 days before that, our final civil pretrial with that mediation deadline the day before. Please agree to a mediator and include that on the scheduling order, return it to the court, and we will not see you in 2 weeks if we have that scheduling order. Is that good?
Yes, that's fine. It's just, I've got another trailing docket, but I mean, we got plenty of time to get this worked out, I would think.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you. May we be excused?
Well, they're excused. Have a good day. Who's next?
Judge, may I have a second, Judge?
Sure.
Mr. Almanzan, what call number are you here on?
Yes, sir. Hi, everyone. This case, this setting may have been rescheduled or passed. This is the Legarda versus Lopez Hernandez cause number 2023 DCV 1391. It was set by the plaintiffs for a motion for default judgment, but then I filed an answer on behalf of defendant Servicio Internacional. And maybe as a result of filing that answer, the court set a status for later in August, but I just wanted to make sure that I appeared for today's motion for default judgment hearing.
Well, I think you summed it all up pretty well, Mr. Almanza. You're set for scheduling status conference on August 23rd.
And there will not be a default judgment today.
There is not.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
We'll see you in August. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What's Miss Frago doing here? Miss Frago.
Judge, how are you?
What's up, girl? You're on civil day.
I am. I believe we had someone set with Rodrigo and Jorge.
What's the cause number?
It's, let me pull it. Sorry.
Page 6, Judge, it's not.
It's 2022 DCV 0259.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, well, let's see. Are we early? No, we're not early. Do we know where Mr. Spencer is?
Judge, the hearing's by submission. I said a while back.
I thought, let me see. Wonderful, let's get off of YouTube, please.